Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be. Welcome back for episode 2 of our Solo World No Mods playthrough of Update 12 that just recently came out. And alright, let's get rid of this title screen. We are right where we was left in episode 1. We had just put up the carpentry table so that we can start doing hewn or dowel rods and making hewn logs so that we can build our first house. So you saw me kill an animal with the stone axe in episode 1. Actually, 2 wolves. I did do a little did jump into the world that I was doing my Update 11 playthrough in. Not only is the axe capable of hitting animals and doing damage at 0.2 damage per hit, so is the pickaxe, so is the machete. All 3 of them are capable of doing damage to animals. They are all the same. Does not matter the tier of the tool. An iron pickaxe does 0.2 just as much as the stone machete does 0.2, or the stone axe. So it does not matter. It is an option, providing you don't have a bow or maybe you run out of arrows and you know the animal's almost dead. You can always pull out one of these 3 tools and hit it a couple times and get it dead, instead of losing the animal to wherever. So what we're going to do now is we're going to make some dowel rods. We got 57. It is going to take 2 each, so at most, we're going to go ahead and do 10 to get us 160 dowel rods. It's going to get us 80 hewn. Actually, let's do 25. This will use up our cedar that we have in storage because it is further to the left and closer to the beginning of the stockpile. And then we will turn our birch into hardwood. So it would take hardwoods, which is birch, chiba, or oak, along with the dowel rods, to give us hardwood hewn logs. I decided this playthrough we are going to do this. So we have 100, so we can do 50 of them. So we'll go ahead and queue that up, and it'll get started once the hewn is done. And then, of course, we are going to need to chop more wood. Damn, we didn't try our charred meat. Alright, we'll do that once we need calories again. We're going to start cleaning up all of our trees that we knocked down, because we need the hewn logs to build our house. get to cleaning up our mess. Even if that means we clean up all of our debris, which is nice because it still gives us logging XP for each piece that we knock out. We'll get ourselves a cart too, which we actually ought to do. So let's go queue up a cart. In order to make the cart, where's the cart? It's going to be a downside. Where's the cart? Was the cart back on the work? I think that was back on the oh, there it is. Small cart. So the problem is we need to make 10 normal hewn to make the cart. Otherwise it's going to take our other hewn. So we want to make... Where are they at? Where are they at? There. We want to make 10 regular. And we're going to put those first. Also for this we need 15 boards. And then we can queue up our wooden cart. We'll put that in front of those two. So once these are done, they'll suck them into that. And in order to guarantee that those go in, I really need to get this house up in this area so we're not so deep into the hole. We're going to grab all of the cedar that we have out here. So the cedar gets used and we don't pull any of the birch. Into making the cart. On most servers, if you're the carpenter or the logger making hewn, you might have a choice of actually doing it. But if it's just a regular server, more likely not the primary wood type or hewn log type, it's going to be basic. The logger is not going to take a lot of time, for the most part, to set up recipes for every type. Of course, too hungry. I knew that was coming. Yuck. That's what I figured. Alright. So that's shit. The agave was bad. So we don't like the agave. We like beets. We got 3. So let's queue up 20. We'll go collect some beets as well. The corn we liked. We got 16. We'll go collect a little bit there. And we had the mushrooms. Those are the only things right now that we know we like. The fish we didn't like. The tomatoes we didn't like. The agave we didn't like. We don't have any beans yet to check. We don't have comets bulbs. We don't like the charred meat, so we're relying on the mushrooms as our protein. These are not going to be here. That's over in the jungle, so we'd have to really go out and find them. So, what are you doing, turkey? Get out of my way. Oh, there's a little fox blocking my path. Little pain in the ass. God damn it, stop rolling on my feet. That's all done. Let's grab. Not ripe enough. Not ripe enough. Alright, let's grab some beets. There's some comets bulbs. Get out of my way. Alright, not enough room. We need to clean our inventory. So this goes back this way. It's no good. Need to make another chest is what we're gonna have to do. I know what it is. It's the that's the biggest thing that was in our inventory. Weighing us down. Alright, so we need a little more corn, some beets. That's more than enough for what we're doing. We did get some comets bulbs. some more up just in case we they're good. There's some pumpkins over there. Try a pumpkin. Yummy. Alright, we like some pumpkins. So pumpkins are a go-to if we're out here in this area for emergency. We could also try the porridge. We'll take the wheat, turn it into boiled grains, and add the pumpkins for our fruit. Trying to think if what else was there. Said commas bulbs. We got the commas bulbs there. Oh, beans. Alright, beans are going to be... Oh, there's jungle right down there, so let's go this direction, go to the jungle real quick and get a couple taro. Okay, get this 20. Didn't like the agave. All the mushrooms are going to be the same, so that's not going to matter. What we were missing now in fruits or vegetables was the beans, and they're in the cold forest, so over here. So where were we? We're right. Why do I keep stopping? Something getting underneath my feet. Jesus, this is really shitty terrain. Come on. Learn to figure out which direction you're supposed to run, stupid. Mushrooms. We can take a couple of these and no room in inventory. So it means there's no space for anything here. Ah, yippee. No, taro and pumpkin. 2 different ones. Alright, we need to find some beans. Where's some beans? I'm not worried about huckleberries. I want beans. Beans. Not ripe enough, not ripe enough. Really? Alright, we got beans. So now we'll find our campsite over there. That would sound like it's the coyotes. So, gonna need throw those in there. Go ahead and burn that. So now we have beets that we had to throw in here. We have pumpkins that we got to throw in here. We got camas bulbs. We got our corn. We have our taro. We need to dump all these seeds somewhere. Fiddle ferns. Alright, so that can go there, this goes here, this goes down here. These are all crap. We want to do a charred bean. We want to do a charred camas bulb. We want to do a charred taro. Of course we don't have it. So let's move that way and move this one this way. Get our charred beans out. Put the charred taro in. Storage. Let's try the charred bean. It's an okay, so we can eat those. Where are the beans? Beans. Ooh, charred camas bulb's good. Alright, so now that we got that one done, where's the boiled greens? They're up at the top. Let's do a boiled green. The porridge. Porridge is a 2, isn't it? Nope, can't figure one. So we don't need to go ahead and do... Oh, we don't have campfire yet. So we can't do it yet. This will be our third skill. So let's run over here. Drop those in. Towards the back. Let's take 10. Another storage chest. so we've got everything cleaned up now. We do have our cart made, more likely than not. Yes, we do. I really don't want to come down here, but I will. Oh, we had our pages, we just didn't make our book. No, wait, yes we did. Otherwise... No, we didn't. We didn't make the book yet. Go away. Destroy the grass. Alright, give me a storage chest. I want to see if I can squeeze it here somehow. It's not going there. Alright. Let's throw all these seeds in here. Empty us out. It's not exactly the best sound that they could have gave to moving things like this. Alright, now we're empty. Take the machete, throw it back in here, because we don't need it. Alright, we're looking at putting this... Yeah, we were going to do these at 60. I changed my mind. We're going to put the floor here at 66. And the house will go up. And the area between 60 and 61 will be a craft room like we did in the last playthrough for 11. Craft room will be under the house. So we still gotta dig 2 more. Where do we want to do this? Trying to decide where I want to dump this stuff. Because I really don't want to put it over here because I want to leave this open if I'm going to do it. So I think I want to go... Here, we're doing that just so we can jump up. thought process for later. Alright, so hewn logs, hardwood. We now have 188 possible. So this would be 93. Alright, taro. It's an okay. So we're now eating our regulars. So what we can add to this would be the comets bulb. And the taro. 11 more, so we'll go ahead and eat them. Plenty of dowel rods, so that's fine. So we're looking to do some more wood cutting. I guess we ought to get some stones so we can make some wet wet stones. For our repair bench. We do have a little bit. Need to. No, they're gonna be on this one. Wet stones, or the coarse stones, sorry, coarse stones. Okay, so we can do 6. Have to go get some more. Four more, so go ahead and queue up 24 more. Let's go ahead and eat. I ought to think about a bow and some arrows, but we don't like the meat, so there's really no point in hunting yet. We do kind of want to make that, so we'll chop up a cedar and make us a hoe so that we can start replanting trees and not get a large stockpile of seeds before we're ready. Alright, so quickly let's go check out the carpentry table. Let's see what we need to make our other stuff. In order to make the latrine, latrine's down here. It is a carpentry too, so we need carpentry 1. Alright, so I guess we get these hewn logs done. We pick up the table, put the research table back down, get our carpentry book. Damn, I keep wanting to do the first rooms, but then Alright, so the latrine, I just need a 1x1 space. So that could just be a really tiny room. The bed needs a 1x3. And depending on whether we put the nightstand in, so that's a 2x2. A 4x2. So we need to do at least a 4x2. So what that means is what we have here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we don't really need all that much more here. If we pick this up and set it over here, get it out of the way. Just finish out that little spot. That can be the 1x1 bathroom. Okay, give me this. Go to here. So if we go to walls, we can go here, here, here. There's a doorway there. Okay, so and a little window. Alright, so now we just need the roof. Dang it. Need dowel rods. Alright, needs 64. That's at least 4. So we'll go ahead and make 10. Those are first, so that's right. So we still got 32 more that we're making. And what we need, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, 16, 17, 23. So yeah, we got plenty. Plenty with this. We had the first room. So this is going to be a little bedroom. And this back here in this corner will be where the one little latrine will be for the bathroom. Doesn't say anything about how big the freaking rooms have to be, as long as they're big enough to support the piece of furniture that's in there. And I'm not going to worry about support. I just want to have the first get some sort of bonus. So don't criticize this time. I'm not doing what I did the last time. I'm trying to go big right away. We just need to get a roof up there. If I want, I'll close that in so that I ought to just close that in. Or actually, here. There, I put a window in. Now you got a window in the bathroom. So now we're just waiting on the last of the logs to be done. So we have our first house. And then once we get carpentry up, we can start getting things made for it. So we can get the nightstand, the dresser, the bed, and the latrine. Alright, that should be the 30 that we need for the bed. How did they end up on me? Did I somehow pick those up? Is that why it stopped? Because I could have swore we had plenty. Three hits. Storage. There. Cannot accept more. What do you mean? Ow, wrong slot. Come on. Get better. Game 3 happened, so... I have to decide what we're gonna do. You know what? I think we're gonna go chop down Joshua's and Segura's. Nah. We'll go ahead and stay up here. Alright, can we reach that? No, we can't, so that can go down. We got sunflowers, nothing that we can use them on. So we don't have a mill to chop or to grind them up, make sunflower oil. Probably ought to start making some mortar with all this wood pulp. Alright, let's go ahead and do 10, put that there. Storage. Put that there. Just for now. Actually, let's move these and this down here. And then shard mortar, 449. Yeah, that's all the wood pulp. So that's 89. All right. Throw those in there. Let's find our other. All right. Can we reach that branch? No, we can't. So this can come down. Can't reach that one. Too hungry, of course. I hate the early game when you're always so hungry. So yeah, you could tell that one was not full grown because I only got 35 out of it. Instead of the... I couldn't reach the top branch, but I also did not get the full growth. Alright, there's our next star, so we can either take cooking or we can take carpentry. And I think we want to take carpentry, even though we're going to be cooking a lot. Because we want I had to toss up. I had to do my skill book for carpentry anyway. So I guess we're going to do okay, this has got nothing left on it. Yes. Alright, pull this up. Throw it in here. Research table. Carpentry skill book. In order to get the next one, we're looking at 3-8 game days, not counting XP. But remember, we do got a 0.01 bonus from using any skill. So I do think we're going to do our campfire cooking, so we start getting XP from our cooking. Then we'll do our carpentry. So now that we have that, we got our hewn logs. That we need to go to here, to here, to here. There's a tier 2 room, tier 2 room. Now we just need our furniture in there. Move that towards the end. Alright, so once the carpentry book's done, trying to think of what I need to do next. I guess we're just gonna keep making hewn in order to... No, we need to prepare all the materials for once the research is done. We're going to prepare the boards and any hewn that we need for the bed, the latrine, the nightstand, and the dresser. So we've got damn. A little bit of hiccups. There's an oak tree. It's shut down. I don't really want to store sunflowers right now. I just have no use for them. But I don't want to kill them either. At least not all of them. Guess we'll pick up any got these mushrooms. From an inventory. Alright, skill book's done. Sunflowers go there, mushrooms go up there, those go in there. Actually, we could use the agaves to make salads. Once our cooking gets up. Alright, so now let's come over here. Here, this is now done. So let's pick that up. Throw this back in here, pull this back out. So, in order to make the dresser, we're going to need 6 boards. To make the nightstand, that's a logging one, we can make that too, so we need to make a room for the butcher table. Butcher table is a 1x2, and so is the ice chest. Sorry, dog made a noise, I had to check to see what she was doing. So that needs to be at least a 2x2 room. So we need to make 6 boards. Logging 4. We're getting close. So that's 16 boards. 28 boards for there. $48 boards. And the bed was down there as well. 48. $63. So if we decide to make 2 tables as well, 85, no, 75. And then are we going to make benches, or are we going to make chairs? Chairs would take less wood overall, because these are only ones a piece. These are going to be a total of a little more than 2 each, because you got to count the dowel rod. Those would be 36 a piece. I guess that would be. Benches are going to be cheaper. Chairs would be cheaper, but let's just make 100 boards. So let's make 100 boards. Need food. Alright, dowel rods, we have 254, so we have plenty there. If we're gonna make another room make the bedroom be bigger and make a bigger room, or another room for the kitchen, we're gonna need some more hardwood. But we also need 10 46 64 94 108 118 123 138. So we might as well make about 140 regular hewn. So we need some more softwoods or regular hewn in order to make our wood wood boards, or hewn logs, I should say. Okay, that makes everything that we need for the furniture. I believe. Might be off, but 140 means we're going to be a little bit shy, so we're going to have to make, we'll go ahead and make another 5 dowel rods after that. Alright, go ahead and chop this. I don't care, I want to get them gone. Let's hope this one stays up here and doesn't fall down. Of course we're too hungry. Going the wrong direction. Definitely not a full grown. Those are too big to be the normal 5s. If it was full grown. Yeah, by sapling. See, these are normals. Alright, so let's see how we're doing. We need 56 more, at least basically 360 there. We need 278 there. Oh, it's counting all the wood for the boards, so... Oh, we're gonna make the dolls, never mind. Hewn... we'll let's check that out later. I think I need a little more cedar or Chiba, or not Chiba, but birch. No, not birch. I'm grabbing birch. That's hardwood. So is Chiba, by the way. Suguru or Joshua? That's what I was trying to think of. So we got a little bit of room that we can put on us. Alright, so 80, 80, 80, 80. So that's 347. So we need 8 for that. It's 286. 326, and yeah, we'll barely have enough to finish all those. So yeah, we're good. We're good on this cheap shit. Let's get the last of the hardwood over here. And I really should end this episode. So that leaves, we'll have to make more dells, so we really would need a little bit more. So let's jump over here. Let's go get a Joshua or a Suguru. Let's get the Suguru right there, this one. Gives us 30 to make, what was it, 15 sets of dowels? And dowels are 2 apiece, so yeah, I can make another 15 safely. Of course, we need food. And we'll queue up what hardwood we can make into hewn. Alright, so now we're on evens. Alright, so it takes care of that. That would mean we'd have 15 times 16 is 240. So we can easily make the 120 that we have available. Alright, so that's queued up to make us some more to expand our newly house. We have all the things to make our furniture. We can take our book, or scroll, research it. Go ahead and do plots. Throw these 5 into here. Gives us the ability to do some more. That goes up there. I really don't want to keep that, but I picked it, so. These mushrooms go here, this goes here. That goes in there. We'll have to figure out how many more we have available to make. But that is where I will call this episode. We have it set up for bedroom, nightstand, and dresser size without a table and a bench. We have the 1 tile space for the latrine. We're finishing up the materials needed. Well, we're working on them to make 2 tables, 2 benches, an ice box, a butcher's table, a nightstand, a dresser, a bed, the latrine. So we'll get into all of those next episode when this stuff starts finishing up. We are going to have to make more food because we are already down to basically 6 sets of eating, but our campfire cooking is going up. So we're currently doing mortar. So we have 120 left out of 239. So that leaves 220 basically. So that would be 20. Would be 44. Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. I mean, we could find 1 in order to do it. So that'll get us more. Keep making mortar with our pulp, because we can't do anything with pulp right now. We can't do, the boards with it because we're not up to sawmill. Oh, shit. Alright, that's where we're going to call this. I will see everyone next episode when we expand the house a little bit more, get our furniture placed inside so that we start having a housing bonus. So, see you next time. Enjoy your morning, your afternoon, and your evening, wherever you happen to be.